In Greyson's episode, we talked about some of the mental health challenges that come with traveling alone or living in a different country by yourself. And the phrase a work in progress came up, which got me thinking about what our expectations of mental wellness are. In my experience, some folks with depression or anxiety want to believe, justifiably so, of course, that at some point it'll be cured. So I want us to think about what is our end goal for our mental health. Because with Grayson, he wasn't talking about feeling depressed or lonely in the past tense. These are feelings that still come and go for him, which is the case for many of us. Most mental health challenges aren't tied in a neat bow or have some distinct endpoint. So I worry when we set up unrealistic expectations, like if we tell ourselves that someday we'll be cured. Now, of course, I can think of some obvious exceptions, like phobias, for instance. It's very possible that you have a fear of spiders, let's say, and you get treatment like systematic desensitization or one of those things, and then you're no longer afraid of spiders. That does feel fairly cure-like. But something like recurring depression is a chronic health condition, like diabetes or autoimmune diseases. We're looking to manage our symptoms with healthy choices, but the underlying condition might not go away. And I feel the need to point this out. The opposite of depression isn't no depression, it's management of depression. We do things that keep it in check. We change our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors with the aim of reducing or temporarily eliminating our symptoms. And now listen, I know some people out there that doesn't fly with them, what I just said, but I want you to know I do have a rich understanding of the despair of major depressive disorder, at least as much as I can without having experienced it myself, but having had worked with and know people. So I'm not being glib when I frame this as something to live with. More often, I get this, it's something that makes living feel unsustainable. But part of getting through the excruciating and hopeless parts is not buying into this idea that there are fast or permanent fixes, because then a lot of people feel even worse when they can't achieve that. I happen to know a lot of people who start to have something like anticipatory dread about that next downward spiral. So much so that they miss the moments when they're feeling okay because of anxiety about when they won't again. So I guess this is my perhaps convoluted way of suggesting that rather than think of our mental struggles as having a cure or an ability to be permanently triumphed over, that we try to maybe yield to the flow of feelings more, that we try to accept parity between mental health and physical health conditions that recur, and thus maybe judge ourselves less for the mental ones. I don't know if this is helpful, but when I think of my own mental health, I don't think in absolutes. I think in terms of more often than not. That's the phrase I use with myself, more often than not. Yes, I would like to feel happy, calm, motivated, rested, joyful, all of those things more often than I don't. It's kind of like when you wear those like smart wearables that track your physical health data in weeks and months, and they could show you like the past year of your data. My own goal, and I don't know, maybe it's a low bar, but my goal is a decent average over time that tips the scale to more often than not, even if individual days or weeks are hard. And so here I was thinking, like, how do I want to wrap this up? And I feel a bit like a cheesy poet, but I started to have these thoughts that struck me as a bit poetic. So I will share them. I roll be damned here. For if we were to cure sadness and loneliness, it would so mute the colors of joy and togetherness. That said, it's okay that many of us would trade our despair for a cure in a heartbeat. Who would blame us? But if you're in a scenario where there is no total resolution possible with your challenges, perhaps pain management can be an option with the right support. And if it's something you would consider with a physical health condition, my hope is that you would also consider that with a mental health condition. Well, that's it for this deep dive. If you want to hear more on this topic or be a guest on our show, email us at the unrelating podcast at gmail.com and interact with us on our socials. We love to hear from you, good, bad, ugly. We want to know what you think.